Hi, everybody. Matt Oppenheimer, co-founder and CEO of Remitly. See some familiar faces in the audience. It's good to see you. Today, I'm going to be talking about the future of mobile wallets, which I'll be putting in quotes a few times during this presentation. First, a bit about my background. I have traveled to every continent multiple times, lived and worked on two. It's actually a map of all the places I've been, and a picture of when I was living most recently in Nairobi, Kenya, where I was running mobile and internet banking initiatives for Barclays Bank Kenya. And when I was in Kenya, I certainly saw how big of an impact quote, mobile wallets can have on an entire economy and society. How many folks in the audience, I assume, have heard of M-Pesa? Yeah, so virtually everybody. It's kind of the shining star of what are called mobile wallets. And there's a bunch of reasons. It's a whole separate talk on why it was so successful in Kenya. Dominant mobile network operator, solved a customer pain point, regulatory environment was good. But what is interesting is that mobile wallets, I put in quote, very much, as you see in Kenya, are the future of finance. It's just nobody's actually going to call them mobile wallets. And I think that just to be clear on definitions here, when I talk about mobile wallets, I'm talking about usually a telco or bank-led mobile wallet like Safaricom did with M-Pesa in Kenya. And the reality is that most telco and bank-led mobile wallets fail. And just to give an example around that, out of 100,000 transactions that Remitly processes, 19 of the 100,000 transactions actually go to mobile wallets. So while there's a lot of hype around telco and bank-led mobile wallets, very little actual usage exists in many of them outside of Kenya, Bangladesh, a few other countries like that. And it's easy to sit, in a developed country like we're here today and think that they're being used in a lot of countries. The reality is, if you see these stats on how we've learned as a business where they're used, oftentimes they're not used very actively. And so the reason why that is, in my mind, is because it's very, very hard. I mean, I worked for Barclays before. It's hard as part of a big company to be customer-centric, product-focused, solve real customer pain points. And so I think that telcos oftentimes have a very hard time connecting with customers. This is actually a picture of a Remitly recipient in the Philippines, somebody that receives money from one of our customers in the US. And the exciting thing about the market is that smartphones change everything. And I think a lot of folks forget that in the old world, with M-Pesa, for instance, and M-Pesa's momentum will carry it into being a telco-led, smartphone-focused mobile wallet. But it used to be that telcos had a stronghold because the actual software was on the SIM toolkit, it was on the SIM card, it was via USSD. Smartphones change everything by opening up the ecosystem such that great technology companies like Alipay or WeChat in China can actually go direct to consumers without having to go through the telco. And obviously, smartphone growth is growing tremendously. It grew from 500 million in 2010 to 2.5 billion, and that number continues in developing countries where not everybody has access to smartphones, but they will very soon open up the opportunity for technology companies to build phenomenal products that customers will actually use leveraging smartphones. So this is a picture of Remitly's growth. We're doing that. We're sending over $1 billion a year in annual transactions. That's up over 400% year on year. And we have very much focused on building a smartphone application that delights customers, yet we're still only 1% of the global remittance market. We have about 140 people worldwide, based in Seattle, with offices as well in the Philippines and in Nicaragua, as well as London. And even though we're sending over $1 billion in remittances, there's over $588 billion a year in remittances that are sent every year. Dwarfs things. It's multiples larger than things like foreign aid. And so there's a huge opportunity, starting with remittances, to leverage smartphones to build a product that truly delights customers, that's customer-centric. And then as we build that trusted financial services brand with consumers, there's an enormous opportunity, especially in developing countries, to build products that offer other financial services to consumers in developing countries that don't have access to a wide, wide range of financial services. A lot of our customers pick up cash. So as we are doing and will continue to do, we'll leverage smartphones, and mobile wallets will absolutely transform financial services in developing countries, but they're not actually ever going to be called mobile wallets, the most successful ones. Thank you very much.